Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel Crafty Concepts with Erin. I'm Erin and today we're going to create a scrapbook layout with the Wander collection. Now this will be my third layout, so I already went into detail over the kit or everything in this collection in previous videos. I'll leave that right here in the upper corner if you want to check that out. But I have pulled just a few of the papers for today's layout. This kind of like map topography paper, and then this paper here with the sapphire pattern. And I have some sapphire cardstock. I am of course going to use the sticker sheet. I want to use this Wander sticker for my title, and I do have a couple photos. So this was a trip a few years ago where I went with my family to Zion National Park and we were hiking the Narrows. So it's my mom and my aunt and myself and my two boys, and so I'm going to be documenting these photos today. So let's go ahead and get started. I do have my VersaMat here. For those of you that don't know, this is a really handy tool. It has the measuring marks on the side. The other side has a foam backing for stamping, so really useful. Helps me get everything nice and straight. So I'm going to start first with my paper cutter, and I want to gut the inside. Now usually I take this part out of the video, but you never know when it's new, if you're new to scrapbooking, so occasionally I like to throw it in there. I don't want to waste this map paper because I love it and I know I have a lot of uses for it. So I'm cutting out the middle because I'm going to cover that area with cardstock, so there's no sense in wasting it. So just literally I have a 10-inch square going over the top of this, so I'm cutting out a 9-inch square from the center. Very easy. So just use your paper cutter, match up your corners, and if you didn't get it quite right, which I didn't, you can just snip that out with this pair of scissors. It does not have to be perfect because again we're going to cover that up. So now I have this whole piece for another project. I also like to adhere my layout to my VersaMat. I like to use glue dots. These are removable glue dots, so any type of removable adhesive. A lot of people like to use washi tape, but it just keeps it from wiggling around, and this is not in my way because it's on the back side, so I do like to use the glue dots. Now I have sapphire matted on white daisy, and then I'm going to bring in a strip of this pattern paper. I've cut it to 4 inches wide, and I'm using my edge distressing tool to rough up the right and left side of this paper just to give it some texture. You can do this with your fingernails or the outside edge of your scissors if you don't have a distressing tool. So we'll just sweep off all the paper dust there, and I'm going to line that up like so, and then bring in a piece of paprika cardstock. So this is a 4x6 photo, and then this one I've cut to 3.5 squared. Now my title element is large. We're going to use this Wander sticker. Now that is one big rectangle sticker. I went ahead and fussy cut all of those letters out with my micro tip scissors because the square wasn't going to work, or the rectangle wasn't going to work on this layout. And because I wanted to fit in this space, I'm staggering and overlapping my letters to make it work. Now I have a couple tags that I've cut with my Tabs and Tags thin cuts. This one here was a pocket card, so I went ahead and cut that down. I love the color that it adds. And then we also have one I cut from Glacier cardstock. Tags are really fun for kind of highlighting smaller embellishments, like this little chipboard piece that says roam free. I'm going to layer that right over the top, and I'll also add a little chipboard arrow like you see there. I decided I wanted to give these a little bit more definition, so I am going around the edge with sapphire ink, and I don't want to waste that because it's hidden behind the cardstock anyway, so I cut that down. And the cardstock, it's not you know, it's a little bit more common, so I'm not worried about salvaging that as much as I am my pattern paper. So this was our very first motorhome trip. It was the first summer we got the motorhome, and I just couldn't wait to go somewhere. So my husband had to work. He couldn't get away. So I took my mom with me, and my aunt met us there, and we went to Zion and some other places, but we were in Zion for a couple days. And this hike was by far a favorite because I've got two boys, and when you add water to the situation, you're going to have some happy boys. And for those that don't know, the Narrows, which is the name of this hike, you're basically hiking down a narrow canyon with a river. So the whole hike is in a river, and who doesn't love that? Well, not the whole hike, but a lot of it, depending on how far you want to go. So you can see I'm adding some foam to the back of every other letter. I'm going to show you on the A, but I am going to pop up the D and the R, and I just thought that added even more fun to this title. So I'm looking at my layout and I definitely think it needs more of that paprika color. So I cut a circle. This is about 3 inches in diameter. I'm sanding it to give it that distressed look. If you haven't noticed, I just love doing that. So I'm going to slide this up here, and then we're going to layer some pieces over the top of it. Now I have this frame. I've already used the other half. This was a rectangle. So I went ahead and created a little text box in Microsoft Word and sized my journaling to fit inside this frame. And then I'm going to tuck it underneath my photos so you'll never know that it is not a complete rectangle. Always hang on to those bits and pieces because you never know when they're going to come in handy. So I love these chipboard frames. Very cool. And then this little sticker here says Adventure Seeker. And I love how it has that UV coating. The sun is actually shiny on that sticker. And then we have the little, I'm totally forgetting what these are called, little location bubble. And I do want to add some twine to those tags. This is from my stash. It's just some twine. I got a whole bulk pack of it from Michael's a long time ago. So I'm just putting a couple layers, so I'll have several little streamers coming out from my tag, and then I'll run it through and loop it back over on itself. I don't really want to tie a bow because this is more of kind of a rustic layout, so we'll just loop this through. And of course I didn't leave myself very much room, so I'm going to just squeeze that through with my fingers, make it a little easier, or with my scissors, excuse me, just like so. I'll give my little tassels a haircut. I like to make them kind of uneven, and then I will repeat that on the tag up above as well. Are you guys loving this Wander collection as much as I am? It's so perfect for all of your outdoor adventures. I'm just really enjoying creating with it. Close to my heart is also offering a free workshop. It's like a virtual workshop you can join in. You purchase the kit, and they will walk you through the cutting and assembly of 3 12 by 12 double page layouts. If that sounds like something that would be fun to you, go ahead and check the description box below for all the details. If you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.